Magandang umaga, good morning. Magandang hapon, good afternoon. And magandang gabi, good evening. Depends where you are on the world or in the world. That's why I've mentioned the three. Okay, today we're going to talk about one of my favourite subjects. But what you'll notice is there's a little bit of background. Food. There's always food. I don't know how Filipinos sometimes find time to do anything because there's always food. This little dish here in front of me is pumpkin with anchovies or dilis along with coconut milk and boiled rice. So I won't eat that while I'm talking to you, but today's subject is going to be about the weather. Well, I can get started, I suppose, but don't talk with your mouth full is what my parents always told me. So we're going to be talking about the weather. But before we talk about the weather, let me bring you to something which fascinated me when I came here. Sunlight or daylight. Because we're so close to the equator, the shortest day for daylight is 12 hours and the longest day is 13 hours. So there's very little variation in daylight. Unlike my country, the United Kingdom, we get massive variation. Let's move on now. Seasons. There are two. Although if you go on Google you can find more than two, but to all intensive purposes there's only two seasons. And that's a dry season, which runs basically from November to the end of May, and then the rest of the year is obviously the wet season. The hottest month of the year here is May, the coldest month is January, and the wettest and windiest month is September. So if you were going to avoid coming to the Philippines one particular month out of all those 12, I would say probably avoid September. But I love the weather here. That's one of my favourite things, and I love it because there's very little variation. And let me explain that to you. When I say there's little variation, a hot day, a really hot day, is probably 37 degrees. Okay? A really cold day is 22 degrees. So I find that the way I'm dressed now, I can dress like this throughout the year. I don't have to ever wear long trousers or long sleeve shirts, personally. I suffer a little bit with heat, but it's not like somewhere like Spain or Portugal where in the summer months you get those very extreme temperatures of maybe up to the mid-40s. By the way, I'm Martin and it's Babs who's behind the camera today. So yeah, the weather's absolutely fantastic. What else can we talk about with regard to the weather? Very little variation. Have a great day. Okay, we've got lots of interesting articles coming up in the very near future, so please don't forget to click the subscribe, the like button, and I believe the bell also, which will notify you when we have new articles. Thanks very much. Catch you next time.